Hey, what's up guys? Licky here, Pro Physio Plus. Today we are going to be talking about postural pain. It's a big buzzword and sometimes it's just an easy word to use when no one really knows what's wrong with you. Okay, postural pain. I'm going to do my best to describe it to you and we're going to explain it in a way that really makes sense so that simple creatures like us can get on top of it and enjoy our best lives. Okay, so what I want you to start with is understand that our heads are big and heavy like a bowling ball. Okay, it's 15 kilos, pretty bloody heavy. Now, if you imagine when you go bowling, if you got that bowling ball in your hand, right, and you hold that bowling ball up above your head, you can only hold it up above your head for a certain period of time before your arm starts to get a bit tired and you got to drop the bowling ball down. Okay, it's just the muscles in your shoulder aren't so good at holding this bowling ball up against gravity. Imagine if there are a group of muscles though that can hold your bowling ball head up against gravity. That's what these guys are, postural muscles. So it's not one muscle, it's a group of muscles that help hold your head up against gravity, holds the bowling ball up against gravity. Okay, this is my simple picture of your spine, your head and your spine, plus your shoulder blades from the back. Okay, so we've got the big bowling ball head, okay? You've got your spine, your pelvis downstairs, and these little triangles are your shoulder blades out the back. Okay? Now, what I'd like you to consider is that there's two areas that I'd like you to consider. Okay, area number one is that from your shoulder blades, there's big muscles that go and they attach towards your shoulder. Okay? Those muscles we call your rotator cuff muscles. Okay, so they go from my shoulder blades and they come around, they attach to my shoulder. Rotator cuff muscles. Okay, now if that's the first part of the equation, the second part are the other groups of muscles around the shoulder blade that play an important role. Okay, the first part is these muscles that go between the shoulder blades. Okay, and the other part is they sit on top of the shoulder blades and they go up into the neck. Okay, these muscles that sit between your shoulder blades and on top of the shoulder blades towards the neck, they're called your postural muscles. Okay, these are the muscles that are responsible for holding your bowling ball head up against gravity. Now here's the issue. If these postural muscles, which are doing a heap of work all day, every day, to keep this ball up against gravity, and then on top of the work that they're doing, it's being asked to do more work, for whatever reason, which we'll talk about, then what will happen is these postural muscles are not only doing this heavy duty work, they're going to be overloaded with these other problems, which then presents with all these other bits and pieces. Okay? So, in perfect balance, in a perfect universe, your big shoulder muscles should be doing what they're normally doing, but you might be doing a bit more sitting in front of the computer. You might be lifting and training certain muscles. Maybe posturally you're just doing the wrong thing, driving too far, standing, cooking. You will find that these shoulders will start to drag to the front and these shoulder muscles aren't as strong as they should be, so therefore they ask for more help from these postural muscles in green, and then the poor postural muscles start to get fatigued and tired, starts to give you pain problems. Okay, now if we look at that, what sort of problems can you get if there's this mismatch between your rotator cuff muscle strength and these postural muscles? Okay, you can start to get neck related headaches. Okay, because the first group of these muscles are starting to do a lot more work for these insufficient rotator cuff muscles. So then you start to get cervicogenic headache. So neck-related headaches, and that's not so helpful. What you can get if these muscles are really overactive and tight, you can start to get a stiff neck or a wry neck. You can start to feel like this upper trap tightness. Okay? You can start to feel burning between the shoulder blades. You start to feel issues in the shoulder like it's jamming up when you're moving around, shoulder impingement. You can start to get these weird pulsing headaches at the back of the head. Sometimes those headaches can start pulsing in your eyeballs, like a deep gnawing pain, or around the brow of your eyebrow. You can start to get these weird shoulder aches, lots of different sort of trigger points around the edges of the shoulder, really annoying. You can start to get weird jaw pains, okay, back of the jaw into the ear, because all these other compensatory muscles are overworked and firing, so then they start to recruit other local muscles and they start to give you secondary problems like jaw pain, okay? What we want to try and do though is, that's great, we've identified all these problems, where's the solution? Okay, so if we're saying that your shoulders are overworked or they're fatigued, they're not as strong as they should be, you start to get into this forward sitting position, chin poke, forward sitting shoulders, big curvature in your upper back, okay, it's not the best position to be in. If there's one group of muscles that we can really engage to help recalibrate this problem, it would be these guys. Okay, these muscles that run from the bottom of your shoulder blade down to your belt line, and these guys are called your lats. Okay, if we are strengthening these big lat muscles, what will it do? It'll help pull you into a better upright position. So if you're in the military and they say, attention, okay, bang, you're in this upright position. If you're watching the Olympic Games and you see like all these athletes, particularly the gymnasts, you can see they're well proportioned, really tall, upright position. Whereas for us, being on the computer, everyday people, the new normal is here, okay? And when we're out here and we've got this big bowling ball head that's holding ourselves, that needs to be held up against gravity, these poor postural muscles, these guys in green, the muscles between your shoulder blades and above the shoulder blades that go and attach to the neck, they're working overtime, okay? And naturally, like anything, they run out of petrol and then you get fatigued. So if we can work on strengthening your lats, which will help pull you in better postural setting, there'll be less pressure between the shoulder blades. So, see you later, burning between the shoulders. Okay, we'll find that, okay, things are starting to recalibrate, so you're getting less strain on the neck, less strain on the upper traps. Upper traps gone, stiff neck gone. If there's less pulling, because we're not sitting in this forward sitting position, we're getting more upright, there's less of this pulling in the back of the head, so all the headaches are gone. Okay, all the pulsing headaches, the jaw pain, the eye pain, the referred eyebrow pain. And then if we look at, okay, we're in a better upright position, we're starting to do some good lat rehab work, it'll help open up the shoulder and help give you optimal use of your rotator cuff. Okay, there go all your shoulder signs. And then by the end of it, what will happen is that your postural pain is fixed. So the purpose of these videos is just trying to demystify all these fancy like problems and give you one solution. Last week, our solution was strengthening the glute to help you with all those different back pain signs. This week, to help you with all your postural pain, lats. Start here. This will be a good place to start because it can help keep these things upright and keep our bowling ball heads up against gravity a lot easier. Hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I'll speak to you guys next week.